How y'all doing out there tonight? Welcome to another night of Big Black Guy Reviews. I'm a big black guy. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, tonight is a special night. We're gonna be taking a look at Steven Seagal, the legend, the man, the myth, the myth. Yeah. I've never myself personally been a huge Steven Seagal fan. I mean, he's had some good movies and stuff, what was that? Hard to Kill, Above the Law, Under Siege, Poetic Justice, Juice, Gridlock. Actually, some of those might be Tupac movies, but you get the point. Handful of movies that he's done I actually kind of somewhat enjoyed, even own the first two I talked about. But the thing is, humble thyself. Like, sure, you're a mega superstar and everything. Humble thyself. And that's just not what this guy's about. He's doing everything he can to try and make people think he is as awesome as possible. So tonight I just kind of wanted to take a little bit and humble yourself, Steven. That's what tonight's about. So to go ahead and just jump straight into it, let's start with a Saturday Night Live monologue. Alright. So yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, at one point around this time, Steven Seagal was a host on SNL, a one-time host, and apparently he was just so difficult to deal with and just so up his own butt about himself. Like he's labeled to this day still the worst celebrity guest on SNL ever, like ever. So this isn't anything new, but we'll get into a little bit more new stuff, Right now, I want to go to a classic, Mad TV. Anybody remember? Love that show. I actually personally pick Mad TV over SNL every Saturday. But yeah, Will Sasso, another one of my to me that was like the golden age of Mad TV. It was like Will Sasso, Alex Borstein, Ari Spears, Deborah Wilson, like that era was when I felt like Mad TV was at its peak, like just But here's a sketch of Steven Seagal's America, starring Will Sasso.
Hi, I'm Steven Seagal. I'm an American. To me, nothing means America more than America and Americans. So I decided to take a trip into the small towns of America to see what being American means to other Americans. And to see the little things that make America American.
How'd you like the chowder?
You're a good American. Serving clam chowder out of sourdough bowls is what's been keeping the locals coming here to Millie's for the past 20 years.
No.
It's one of the...
Is it doing that choppy thing again? Alright, hang on. Thanks for pointing it out. It must be tragic.
little details that make up the great big details of this great big country. I wonder if Millie's around. Oh, there she is. Hi, Millie.
Hello, Stephen.
You know, Millie, this is one of those places that can only exist in a land that's truly, freely true and free. So tell me, how'd you come up with the idea for sourdough bowls?
Oh, those old things? Land of Goshen. When I was a little girl, my mother used to scoop out the insides of sourdough loaves and fill them up with soup so she wouldn't have to do none dishes.
That's pretty smart. Smarts are the brains that make America think.
My husband always used to say, well, you make way too much chowder. Now, why don't you take all that chowder and open up a restaurant called Leftovers? We laughed and laughed.
Excuse me for a minute, Millie. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Couldn't help but notice your friend here's stuffing her pockets with the sweet and low packets.
Just grabbed a few to take to work with me. All we have at the office is sugar.
Put the sweet and low back on the table.
What's your problem? It's just sweet and low.
My problem is you're stealing from Millie here. And I think we can all agree on this. Millie is America.
Hey, look, we don't want any trouble, okay?
Well then, better keep your receipt, because you just bought some.
Stephen, it was just sweet and low.
Look, Millie, that's like saying it's just the flag or just the Constitution. Everything is part of Steven Seagal's America. So tell me about the sourdough. Is that French?
What?
Sourdough. Is it French?
Oh, I don't know. I buy it at the
Excuse me a minute.
bakery.
What?
I didn't do anything.
So you're saying I didn't just see you stick your gum under the table?
No.
No? Tell you what, why don't you take a closer look? Something I should have done long ago. Oh my God, someone's calling the police!
Hey, now you stop that. Now you stop that. You stop that right now.
I blame all you.
My restaurant is ruined.
You see, this is how it begins. Pack of sweet and low over here, piece of gum over there. Now a piece of America is lost forever. It's a disease. A disease that's rotting this great nation from the inside out. It's like that disease that you get, you know, in your teeth that rots them from the inside out. What is that? What's that called again? It's,
Cavities?
yeah, cavities. It's like cavities. So until there's a cure for cavities, we gotta be vigilant and strong. Strong like me. Strong like Millie. Strong like America. I'm Steven Seagal. I'll see you around. Around America.
It's all the same.
I don't know what's really going on with the mic right now. It's normally not this bad, especially for this long. Hold on. Yeah. Just gonna turn it off for a second. Hold on. See if I can find my other mixer. But here's a bit from Tom Segura. Steven Seagal is out of his mind. I'm gonna let that play while I work this out.
Cliche shit they said when we were kids, they now say as adults, right? They're like, oh, you watch too much TV, it'll rot your mind, or you can't learn anything from television. But that's not true. You can learn a lot from television. For instance, without television, I would have no idea that Steven Seagal is out of his fucking mind. Or alive. I also didn't know that. He has a show. It's not a scripted show. It follows around the real Steven Seagal, and every episode begins with him looking in the camera and saying, I don't know if you knew this or not, but for the last 20 years, I've been a cop. And you're like, what did you just say? I thought you've been making shitty movies for the last 20 years. What are you talking about? You watch the show, he has the most unlikable quality in a human being, which is that he is an expert in everything. Literally, if a dog walks by, he's like, that's a Shih Tzu boxer hound mix right there. And they're like, how do you know that? He's like, I've been working with dogs for like 35 years. Then a helicopter flies by, and he's like, that's a HUB 106. And they're like, how do you know that? And he's like, I've been flying helicopters for like 47 years. Then he does the thing, though, that everybody does who knows something about everything. Everybody has a friend, no matter what you're doing. They know the history of it all. They know every topic, every fucking fact. If you're eating dinner, they're like, forks are from the Roman times, and they would sculpt them out of bark. And you're like, will you shut the fuck up and let me finish this, please? Seagal will do that too, but you know he's making it up. He'll be like, they also
We then get to the reason any of us watch a Steven Seagal movie, his elite level of athleticism. Steven Seagal did all his own stunts in this movie, and at no point was a body double used. See, that's definitely him. We then get this 100% necessary shoulder roll, him flying down from the second floor without making any noise, and whatever the f this is supposed to be. The movie never explains why he did any of this. Anyways, Seagal's daughter gets herself kidnapped in Thailand. So he has to fly down there to go rescue her. When he gets there, this cab driver
Sorry, Steven. She belongs to Bangkok now. Ooh, that sounded way less dirty in my head. Sorry.
tries to talk to him.
Hey, where you come from?
So he lets him know that he's Steven f***ing Seagal and he doesn't talk to peasants.
Yeah, I just need you to get me where I asked you to get me quick, okay?
Before killing him. We then get a classic Seagal fight scene, which is 100% believable and the way his fights happen in real life. You know, if anyone was ever stupid enough to actually fight him. For all the haters out there that say he's too old and out of shape, then how do you explain this? Checkmate, bitches. Then this guy dies the most predictable and boring way possible by running away and slipping on a tomato that causes him to slide on a table full of frozen fish face first into a cleaver. Even Seagal's wondering if this has gotten too stupid, even for him.
Oh, man.
Nah, we're good. He then forgets why he's even in Thailand and does what he does best and goes to a strip club. While there, the same thing happens as what happens in every Seagal movie. A young woman at the club comes to him for help.
He don't leave me alone!
And immediately falls in love with him.
Maybe we could get something to eat. Something nice.
Seagal really believes people find true love at strip clubs. God bless him. Now Seagal is going to see his buddy Rue that bravely took out the lady terrorist and her terrorist baby 10 years prior. Turns out they were romantic partners and their forbidden love caused Ryu to run away and join this monastery.
You're looking very good.
Seagal's voice is dubbed terribly throughout this entire scene.
And again, I think you're the lucky one.
His lips match his words, which means they didn't change his dialogue. His mumbling was just so bad, they thought in the middle of what's supposed to be an emotional scene that this
How are your wounds? And how is your heart?
was somehow better than whatever it was before. Anyways, we now have
It is insane, like, how frequently, like you could almost do a Steven Seagal bingo of just what you could consider here Steven Seagal cliches throughout his movies, specifically his straight-to-video movies. Like, he's always constantly using a body double, even when it's totally unnecessary, you know, like the dubbing, the voiceover, like, just all strip clubs, like, almost every, especially when he writes it, it's mind-boggling. It's like, was your heart even really in this, Steven?
of an awkward love triangle as the lady who's half Seagal's age that fell in love with him at the strip club is now just waiting for him in his hotel room.
What are you doing here?
I come to bring you food.
That's all normal in the life of Seagal though, and the family size order of food she brought is starting to win him over. Then later, she's just sitting in his car and he tells her to get the f out. There's no reason for either of these things to be in the movie, but Seagal desperately wants people to believe he's desirable.
That's Jake. Be careful.
Nobody does, and he's not. He finally remembers the reason he's down there, his daughter being held hostage. And he heads down to an abandoned train station where an arms deal is taking place between the terrorists and this smoking hot woman. Seagal saves the head terrorist's life, and everyone just starts shooting everyone else. We get more Seagal doing believable Seagal things, like flying through the side of this train for some reason, so he can land on a cart, and while flying down the track at a blistering 1.5 miles per hour, takes out 20 men
It's even that.
who can barely even make out the high-speed blur slowly rolling past them.
I love how you can pretty much tell the cameraman's just walking along with it.
This scene also blesses us with a firearms lesson from Sensei Seagal. Here, the slide is locked open, indicating he is out of bullets. Being the master gunsmith that he is, Seagal knows exactly how to remedy this problem. You just fiddle with the slide and continue firing. So, anyways, Seagal is arrested because he just murdered a whole load of people.
Some men were killed today. You are responsible.
That's not true, and you know it.
What is he talking about? He killed a bunch of people right in front of the police. Then, in a scene he completely stole from First Blood, this officer just starts hitting him with his club for no real reason, before Seagal single-handedly takes out the entire police department.
Like, did you see how floppy
Blood, this
that
officer
nightstick is?
just starts hitting him with his club for no real reason,
Where'd you get your nightstick, bro?
before
Fisher
Seagal
Price?
single-handedly takes out the entire police department. Not only is it completely pointless to have handcuffs with this long of a chain, but why the f doesn't this guy just step to the side since Seagal isn't even looking at him? So a CIA agent shows up and tells them they need to let Seagal go,
He's coming with me.
because even though the CIA has zero authority over Thailand police, Seagal's a writer and couldn't come up with anything better.
Key.
The lady who's been stalking Seagal then goes to her apartment and finds her roommate has been brutally murdered. Who did this and why? Who the fuck knows? The movie never tells us. It was just an excuse for her to now live with Seagal and give us the most disgusting love scene of all time.
Even compared to The Room?
Seagal and Ryu then just show up here for poorly explained reasons, but nobody questions it because 1, we're just glad that love scene is over, and 2, we get one of the most ridiculous action scenes of all time. First, these guys fly in from out of nowhere. They then stand around dancing for almost a full minute before finally attacking. If only these guys worked on their fighting as much as they did choreographing that dance. This guy tries to stab Seagal, but he isn't even close to him. In fact, they all swing their swords at Seagal from extremely far away. They do this repeatedly, which gives even the elderly and obese Seagal plenty of time to react. What is this guy even doing here? Do none of them have any depth perception at all? And what even is this? The only way this works is if someone just blindly walks right into it. He's not even facing Seagal or swinging his swords in his direction. You could just walk up behind him and smack him in the head. Seagal kills him anyways. And then stabs this guy in the stomach so hard that he flies backwards through the air. You would think the sword would just go through him instead.
No. I don't think so.
Not with that handle.
Who am I to question Seagal? Anyways, since everyone's dead now, Seagal has no leads or any idea of where his daughter is. So I guess he has no choice but to chalk this one up as a loss and go home. Unless something crazy happens, like a hot Asian lady standing in the middle of the street who just stares at Seagal seductively before leading him to a back room where she takes her top off and pours water all over her boobs that makes magic symbols appear and tell him where to go. That is literally what happened. I promise I did not make any of that up, and it is somehow the best right
That
to
nod.
go over her boobs that makes magic symbols appear and tell him where to go.
Message received.
That is literally what happened. I promise I did not make any of that up, and it is somehow the best writing of Seagal's career. So Seagal goes where the, magic boobies tell him to go, which leads him to the terrorist leader. Turns out, he's actually a really nice guy and is being framed for the kidnapping by a Thai military general whose master plan is to have the US eliminate the freedom fighters for him. But nobody gives a shit about any of that. We just want to see more ridiculous fighting, which we get when Seagal goes full Jerry Springer on his former friend.
You know something, Fitz? You ain't nothing but a trailer park bitch.
So the general's plan works, and the US is going to bomb the rebels, which will also end up killing the hostages. The hostages are literally the only reason the US gives a shit about this.
You think we're doing the right thing?
No, you fucking idiot. What you're doing makes absolutely no sense. But whatever, it's a Seagal movie, so stop picking apart the plot, you fucking nerd. Since Seagal is now in a race against time before the US saves the hostages by killing the hostages, he and Ryu attack the military compound his daughter is at. Seagal makes up some hand signals, and while Ryu has no idea what the fuck Seagal's talking about, he's been through it enough to know it's better just to nod in order to keep this shit moving. So apparently, his hand signals meant, let's just run out and shoot everyone. They then do this highly tactical move of holding your gun around the corner where the enemy can see it while you're hiding behind the wall. Because a gun that's pointing at you while floating off the ground isn't suspicious as fuck. Luckily, Thailand has the worst military on the planet, and Seagal's stupid fucking plans keep accidentally working. Seagal then frees his daughter, and we get to see just how awful the Thailand military actually is. They fire roughly 25,000 rounds and can't hit any of the 4 people they're firing at. And they're really not that far away. I honestly don't know what's dumber, the fact that all this was a part of Seagal's plan, or the fact that it somehow f***ing worked. Let's just ignore that and focus on the final showdown between the general and Seagal. I'm going to be honest, this fight is so stupid, it's actually kinda awesome. He starts off by shooting an arrow at Seagal, who shoots it in half with his last bullet. But the general still has an arrow left, so Seagal does some quick thinking, and while the second arrow is in the air, Seagal grabs a sword from its sheath and splits the arrow in half, long ways. We now get to see where the idiots earlier got it from as the general tries to stab Seagal with a spear from across the fucking room. While this is happening, Ryu is fighting the entire Thailand army. We then get a mix of clearly not Seagal doing slightly athletic things and actual Seagal doing things where the film was obviously sped up. Oh, for fuck's sake, Seagal. There's this weird old man who has a Steven Seagal voodoo doll. Yes, I'm serious, and it works. But then doesn't because of this, which kills the voodoo guy. You know, perfectly normal stuff to just introduce at the end of a movie. Anyways, it's still more believable than Seagal doing fucking gymnastics. But whatever, so he kills the general. And while Seagal took 10 minutes fighting that one guy, since he only went up there with one bullet, Ryu literally defeated the entire Thailand military and then falls down dead. Right as the US military shows up, making everything Seagal just did completely pointless, proving once again that all Seagal movies are nothing but a waste of everyone's fucking time.
Snap. All right. So there's like 2 more of his videos sprinkled throughout the rest of the night, but here we go. This is a video from Newgrounds, actually. I guess back in the Newgrounds days, and I've never heard of it, never seen it. Just happened to come across it while I was looking up videos about Steven Seagal and figured, hey, you know, I should throw in something I've never seen before. So here we go with the Steven Seagal Show, episode 1. Remember Newgrounds? Man, that was an era. That was an era of the internet. The Simpsons. Accurate.
Excuse me, do you know what time it is? $4.
Hey,
Hey, yo, Steve. Hey, yo, Steve. Yeah, you know, you got like an old man hanging off your arm, you know? I said, like, you got like an old man hanging off your arm, you know? Hey, you're alright, you know? Just trying to help out a friend, you know?
He's got a gun! Get down!
I might just have to skip these next 2.
Tonight, police are asking for your help locating an elderly man who went missing earlier today in North Hollywood.
Thundercats are on the move.
Trying to hang in there because there's only like a few seconds left, but I am definitely skipping the next 2.
What the fuck?
They're shorter than this, but no thank you. I'm good. Nah, let's just I'm good. I'm good.
Every now and then,
Ugh.
a filmmaker shocks the world by going above and beyond what anyone believed they were capable of and delivers something truly special. But not Steven Seagal.
Not for me and my current taste right now, bro. like, like it was one thing to punch, but then to have him the whole time, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to know where else this is going.
Seagal because he's fucking awful.
What up, Chief?
It'll take a lifetime to make amends for the terrible things I've done.
How's your day been, homie? Are you having a good one? Now I don't know if you saw my I don't know if you saw my comment in Discord in my live stream section, my Discord, seeing what you well, check it out and answer it there. But yeah. Yeah. I hope you've been having a great day. Yeah, pretty good. Although like last night, I guess there was a tornado warning or something, I don't know, but I just kept finding myself just waking up multiple times throughout the night, and just I was so exhausted this morning. Like even like when I finally woke up, I was still tired.
Here are 5 reasons why Attrition is the dumbest movie of all time. Number 5, the plot. This movie doesn't have one. The closest thing we get is that there's a crime boss who can't leave his home due to an
Wolf,
illness that prevents him from being out in the sun.
Word. So yeah. How about you, Wolf? Were you having a low energy, low vibe day today? Hope you've been having a good one, homie.
You're probably wondering, what
Oh,
about
hold on.
Night
What
and
was the
crime
loose
boss
plot?
of one? The closest thing we get is that there's a crime boss who can't leave his home due to an illness that prevents him from being out in the sun. You're probably
He has a pretty nice tan for a dude who never leaves the house. Is he immune to tanning beds?
wondering, what about nighttime? You've already put more thought into this movie than Seagal did. So, for reasons that aren't explained, he
Oh, okay. The moon must be in Gatorade or whatever's going on.
thinks this girl can cure him, so he kidnaps her. Then Seagal goes and rescues her. This entire thing takes up only about 15 of the movie's 90-minute runtime. That brings us to the other 75 minutes. Number 4, pointlessness. Everything in this movie is completely fucking pointless.
Amazing. Thank you.
It's mostly just Seagal waddling around this rainy village in a muumuu, solving everyone's problems while they talk about how awesome he is.
You're the only one I know who can do this.
师兄，你除了武功好，还有一颗仁爱的心。
多劫财。
Here, this guy challenges Seagal to a death match
和你来一场生死之战。如果
because he caught him shoplifting.
看你从老上店里拿东西。
But it turns out it was a big misunderstanding.
I'm very, very close to Mr. Shaw. I pay for his granddaughter to go to school.
And the only reason he stole
Oh yeah, total Russian commie. He was probably jizzing over Victor Boots' release. Hey, you want to be in my next movie?
from the store
You know I'm badass, right?
was because of how awesome he is.
But Chung is a proud man When I go by the store, take a little fruit, little vegetables, for his sake, to give him face.
How the f does you sticking vegetables in your pants save him face?
Please link it in the description. Matter of fact,
this
drop it in my
is Seagal's
Discord.
buddy.
Here,
He's
I'll
calling
shoot
out
the link.
whoever this guy is for hitting one of his female employees.
So at this point, I'm all about the rabbit holes. Like, there's so many weird, wacky, and wild rabbit holes to go down, and all different facets of everything. It's like, yeah.
But there's a twist. The reason he hit her was because
She stole from me. She took my money, a ring that was a precious family heirloom.
then there's a double twist. She stole from him because her daughter
She has leukemia. If I don't get her to the better hospital, she will die.
And then a mind-blowing triple twist, which is that nobody gives a shit, so get the f out of his office.
Making this entire scene totally pointless.
Now, Seagal and his buddy are meeting with this kung fu master when he drops this bombshell.
可是我从小跟着你练功，不知道你是我儿子。
What the hell is this? We just met this guy and we barely even know him. All we know is he really hates kids with leukemia. Why are we supposed to give a shit about this? And why was it even a secret?
严厉看法，给掌握时机，也只是一个学生。
Oh, f off. He's in his mid-40s and you're like 90. You literally could have died 20 years ago of old age, but decide now's the time because he asked why you're such a dick.
我的儿子。
How about when he was first born? That didn't feel like the right time, you stupid old f.
Oh, bro.
Now what are you guys doing? Seriously, what is this?
Matter of fact, Wolf, give me a sec. I'm gonna I'm gonna write, start a channel on my Discord specifically for rabbit holes.
This fucking scene, man. Number 3, philosophy. Attrition is full of incoherent philosophical sayings of Sensei Seagal.
The war must be fought from within.
He thinks he sounds like Confucius.
The corruption of our world is
There
diluted
you
in
go.
proportions.
Nobody fights so well. Should fight for so little.
But is really just a rambling idiot.
If we can devote every last breath we have to the propagation of trying to protect the last bit of unbroken lineage.
What the hell is he talking about?
Negative words carry great weight. They're like a poison. They carry their own life.
Poisons don't carry life. Then, after all the pieces,
It's literally the opposite of what poison's for. What the hell? Like, he's always trying to say something super deep. Like, there's this video, I wound up sharing it on my Facebook, and it's literally just, it's him teaching a class, and he's like, this one is a dragon chasing the ball. Before he just chokeslammed one of his students. Like, I think dude just likes hurting people and pretending like he knows what he's doing.
He's talk.
Taking a life for a life will only perpetuate the cycle.
He gives us this. You fucking hypocrite. Number 2, artistic shit. Have you ever wanted to see a human body dismembered in reverse? I'm gonna pretend like you said no, you sick f. Well, Seagal shows us anyways, but for good reason. Nah, just kidding. We have no idea who this guy is or why it happened. When the girl was trying to get away from the kidnappers, she throws colored powder on them. Then, suddenly, everyone starts throwing different colors at them. The rainbow powder does absolutely nothing, and she's kidnapped anyways. Also, throughout the movie, the kidnapped girl keeps coming to Seagal in his dreams
The old
and
colored powder
saying
trick.
really weird
Max, your destiny awaits
Hey
you.
man, that's our word. And by that I mean you're my word. Hashtag colored powdered.
I am emptiness, the suchness of luminosity, unborn and undying.
The only thing that makes any sense is that it was all just an excuse for Seagal to see young boobies. Before we get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Seagal's character is a former member of the Special Forces, which marks the only time he's ever played a character like that outside of Above the Law, Marked for Death, Under Siege 2, The Glimmer Man, The Foreigner, Out of Reach, Submerged, Black Dawn, Mercenary for Justice, Attack Force, Flight of Fury, A Dangerous Man, Maximum Conviction, A Good Man, Code of Honor, and General Commander.
Cinematic Universe!
It's refreshing to see him break new ground. The guy that challenged Seagal to a death match wants to know how he can make it up to him.
Give me the biggest sack you can find and fill it full of down feathers.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
And carry it to the top of the highest hill you can find. And throw all the feathers everywhere in the wind.
What the f?
And come back a week later and find every feather.
You know what?
Put it back in the bag and bring me the bag.
Fuck you, man. And finally, Seagal shows what a complete dick he is and makes the cast stand around and pretend to enjoy themselves while he plays terrible music during the end credits. There is no way he plays terrible music during the end credits. There is no music during the end credits.
It's a scoop, baby. Scoop it like an old man. Brilliant.
There is no way anyone is watching this entire movie, much less the end credits. And the number 1 reason why Attrition is the dumbest movie ever made is narcissism. The same thing that ruins every Seagal movie. His goal is never to make a good movie, but to make something that's 90 minutes of everyone telling him how awesome
我已经把最好的棍数交给你了。
是因为他，我们早就死了。
and good looking he is.
Nothing special, handsome.
Seagal, you are the f***ing worst.
And that's why we're here. This is why we're here. This is why this is happening. Steven Seagal will never see this stream, but we'll feel a little bit better.
If you don't believe that Attrition is the dumbest movie ever made, then
you were an asshole then, and you're an asshole now.
Says, if you enjoy, please subscribe. Space Ice Production. If not, you're probably Steven Seagal. Huh. Oh yeah, yeah. No, like don't get me wrong. Like Steven, there've been some really great Steven Seagal moments. Like I got a kick out of his role in Machete as the villain. Like when he gets stabbed, he go, "See this? He's stabbed with the machete through the chest." And he's just like, "This ain't," you know. He's like, "I killed myself." This is so ridiculous. Robert Rodriguez knew what to do with Steven Seagal.
Hi, I'm Steven Seagal, and welcome to Steven Seagal's America. I'm Steven Seagal. Today on the show, we're gonna take a good hard look at voting and why it's so cool to vote. Because in America, who are you?
I am Magda Loost. I was told you'd be coming by today, Mr. Seagal, and just thought if you had any questions, I could help you out.
What do you think of America?
Wait, same wig, same glasses, somehow a different character. Moving on.
Oh, well.
I love it. If America was a sandwich, I'd eat it.
I'm sure it'd be quite delicious,
Yeah,
too.
what kind of sandwich?
I'm sorry?
What kind of sandwich is America?
Monte Cristo.
It doesn't even sound American.
You're okay. So, Magda, why don't you show me how all this works, huh?
Well, it's quite simple, really. You come over here where you register, and you take one of these, thank you, right over there in the polling booth, and you vote.
For Lieberman.
Well, perhaps you vote for whomever you want.
Yeah, maybe in Russia, but in America, we vote for the right guy, and the right guy's Lieberman. Did you know that he's Jewish?
Yes?
Yeah, did you hear about what happened to all them Jewish people in the war? Yeah, it makes me sick. Some guy just told me last night, and I still can't believe it. It's time for some payback.
Well, I don't think...
Payback! Hey, Goof, come here. Who'd you vote for?
George Bush.
Oh, really? Did you know that a vote for George Bush is also a vote for Senior Break My Face?
What the hell did you do that for?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was you. Hey, calm down, everybody. Nobody leaves until they vote, and no autographs. Oh, gee.
Well, these are Japanese subtitles added in, I guess for this upload. But yeah, no, the original it was just regular, but it does add to the absurdity.
Please, what happened to this guy? Hey, buddy, did you fall? Oh my goodness, what a mess. Say, fella, who'd you vote for?
Gore.
Wrong answer. Next time it comes off. Now, who'd you vote for?
What the hell do you want me to say?
Lieberman.
Gore and Lieberman are on the same ticket.
And I will give you a ticket straight to where'd my head go, Bill. Now, give me the right answer.
I'm voting for Lieberman.
My favorite part is how Will is putting in so much more acting effort than Steven Seagal ever has in his entire career.
Bingo! Oh, that one's on the house. Now beat it, punk. Hey, stupid, who you voting for?
Man, I ain't got to tell you.
That's absolutely correct, Mr. Seagal. That's his right.
Oh, really? Well, this is my right.
You just hit a woman.
And millions of Jews were killed in the war. Are you actually comparing the two?
What?
What? Listen, buddy, you got about 2 seconds to get into that booth and vote for Lieberman, or
What if I say no?
Go ahead, it's a free country.
If I say no, you'll hit me.
No, I won't.
You just hit an old woman.
No, I didn't.
Everybody saw you.
No, they didn't.
Man, what's this got to do with America anyway? You just trying to scare people into voting your way.
No, I'm not.
Fine. Then I'm gonna vote for Bush.
Fine. As a matter of fact, let me help you. Right over here, sir. Come on.
I'm raising my voice. I'm serious.
For real, right? Hate crime. That is officially a hate crime. It was a quality until it became a hate crime.
That's one small stab for this guy and one giant leap for America. Let's see some voting, folks. I'm gonna be checking to make sure you get it right, so get it right, because I'm gonna be checking. Anyway, today's show was supposed to be about how young people aren't voting in America and how that's such a problem. But now we're out of time because of assheads like this asswipe. So anyway, young people aren't voting in America, and that's a problem. I'm Steven Seagal. Good night. Just before we vote?
It has been so long since I've seen this. It's pulling hard to paint. All right. Yeah, man. Mad TV, in my opinion, that they had like the best Steven Seagal bits when almost nobody else was really doing any. Like, I don't even think Saturday Night Live really had very many Steven Seagal bits, if at all. Like, outside of that one appearance where he was the host. But yeah, all right. So here we go. Last Space Ice video, and then we're gonna move on to we got like 4 other videos after this, and yeah, it's gonna be good.
Out of Reach is the
this one especially. When you know Steven Seagal wrote it, that makes everything about this movie that much worse. If you've never heard of the film Out of Reach, which I really hadn't until I saw this, but it's just, whoa, dude, what were you thinking? All right, here we go.
Steven Seagal movie where he showed the world that human trafficking is wrong, unless he's the one doing it. Here are 5 reasons why Out of Reach is the worst movie ever made.
And the fact that it's even called Out of Reach, like, was he just really that? He just, where's your mind, Steven?
Number 5, inappropriateness. In Out of Reach, Seagal is clearly grooming this poor young child. How do I know this? Because he's a 50-year-old man who writes a lot of letters to a 13-year-old girl who isn't family and whom he has never met. He came up with a secret language only the 2 of them know about in order to throw off the authorities. He also has her send the letters to a P.O. box set up in a fake name. And when government officials come snooping around, he hauls ass home to burn the evidence and takes the very next flight out of the country.
Are you here for business or pleasure? A little swords.
Number 4, talking is hard. Seagal put such little effort into the movie that he couldn't even be bothered to voice half his own lines.
Well, it's a little thing called respect, you know what I mean?
He goes back and forth from his whispering and mumbling self.
I bet you thought you'd never see me here.
Well, I was hoping I wouldn't, you know, but shit happened.
To sounding like this.
Thank you, Rosa. Do you know any good jokes?
As the movie goes on, the real Seagal speech becomes complete gibberish. What the f*** is he trying to say here? What about this?
You said it was urgent?
I honestly don't know if him mumbling incoherently.
You said it was urgent?
Or sometimes sounding like Mr. Rogers.
I'm Bill Hale. I'm with the Global Relief Fund.
Is worse.
I didn't really know her very well at all. I just kind of met her in passing.
He didn't even try. And it's his movie.
And here, I'm pretty sure he screwed up the line.
You know, I built this cabin with my own money.
But everyone was in a hurry to get.
No, That's the thing. Steven is so lazy with these movies, he doesn't even do his own voiceovers. That was a totally different person dubbing over his lines. Because apparently he'll just walk up on set and just. I built this cabin with my own money. Yep. That's got to be the best line since "I'm taking you to the bank, Senator, the blood bank."
Global Relief Fund?
Is worse.
I didn't really know her very well at all. I just kind of met her in passing.
And here, I'm pretty sure he screwed up the line.
You know, I built this cabin with my own money.
But everyone was in a hurry to get out of there, so they just said F it and went along with it.
Glad to see you saved.
Number 3, incoherent plot. I've seen a lot of Steven Seagal movies. And the plot of Out of Reach is by far the most incoherent. Seagal gets a letter from his 13-year-old pen pal saying she can't write him anymore.
Irena Moravska will no longer be able to correspond with you.
So he flies all the way to Poland and solves murders and mysteries like he's fucking Scooby-Doo or something.
This is a trap.
That's right, he just read food. He meets a Polish detective who hangs out at a bar and drinks all day. He randomly shows up at important places for reasons that are never explained.
Is that the man?
Yes.
And at the end of the movie, he literally just magically appears in the same room as the villain and the little girl. The movie never tells us how he got there or even how he knew where to go.
My sentiments exactly.
It's like when they printed out the script, they checked the print on both sides box.
Hold on. I gotta read this. Everybody stand around in awe at how awesome Seagal Man is with his beautiful abs, and then ninjas come down from sky. But it okay because Seagal Man beat them all up while eating a sandwich with ham, pickles, extra mayonnaise on rye. Then pretty girl come up to Seagal and ask to touch big muscles, so Seagal do that. And they make big love scene, and all other woman is jealous, and mean men come in, and Seagal do Aikido and beat them up, and one of them was Jean-Claude Van Damme, misspells Claude, who says, "Sorry, Mr. Seagal, you so much better than me. I don't know what I was thinking. Please forgive me." And then I take samurai sword out and say sayonara, and then kaplawi, and everybody in the theater gives Seagal standing ovation because he's the best. Then he finishes his sandwich. Like, I know Space Ice wrote this, but just I feel like that's barely a parody of how Steven Seagal writes.
But the printer wasn't working right.
See, now this is a simple case of signal versus digital throughput.
So now we're missing half the pages. It's a Seagal movie, so nobody noticed. Number 2, awful fight scenes. Even the most terrible Seagal movies still have entertaining fight scenes, even though it's usually for the wrong reasons. Attack Force had patty cake fights, and this insulting spin kick. Kill Switch had Seagal teleporting, and so many cuts, it'll give you a seizure. Pistol Whip had him doing random spin moves and no-look bullet shots. Even again,
he's just that damn good.
The Dark had Seagal slapping zombies with a floppy sword. Out of Reach has none of that.
Wait, Isn't that the guy from the Transporter and Fast and Furious? Well, the Fast and Furious. The Fast and the Furious. There's too many of these movies. It's hard to keep up with the titles.
There are very few fights. And the ones we do get is just Seagal pushing people to the ground a couple times before they just give up out of embarrassment for being involved in this travesty. Before we get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. This detective. First, Seagal is sitting here talking with this kid at an orphanage where the director had been murdered the night before.
Ugh.
She then walks up and demands to talk to him.
Let's talk outside.
Because
Mrs. Donato was brutally murdered. Hours later, I find a mysterious stranger on her doorstep asking questions.
what the f are you talking about? He was just sitting there and you came up to him.
Can I help you, sir?
He never asked a single f***ing question. Then later, she catches Seagal in a lie when he pretended that.
Is it just me, or does it look like his sideburn is pulling a little bit of a Giuliani right there?
He didn't know the little girl.
I found this.
Oh, man.
It's your handwriting.
No, it isn't. Are you f***ing blind? That shit doesn't match in the slightest. You're a complete f***ing hack. Later, she gets shot. And for some reason, Seagal thinks he has to immediately take out the bullet. So he grabs some knives from the kitchen and just digs into her chest. That would bother me more if she wasn't such a terrible character. Here, Seagal's about to save the little girl, but then things start getting a
Cauterize it, sew it up, leave it alone, Steven.
little hectic, so he immediately bounces.
Never dig out the bullet.
He sneaks around the back, right? Wrong. He goes to a f***ing brothel.
You know the young lady that I saw earlier?
It's like he writes strip clubs and brothels into every movie he's in just to make sure he at least sees some boobs.
With the hair comes straight back. Do you think I could spend some time with her?
To be fair,
it's like the Adam Sandler of action movies, except I like Adam Sandler mostly as a person. He seems cool. I hope.
That's 100% what Steven Seagal would really do in that situation. And finally, during the final fight, Seagal kills the main villain and then just stands there for a really long time like this. Then he's suddenly standing there like that. What the f are you?
What? Why? Like, it's not even like it was just freeze
He's
frame.
suddenly
Like,
standing there like that.
the camera's panning in
What
and
the
everything.
f are you doing? I really believe he sharded on himself and for some reason kept it in the movie. And the number one reason why Out of Reach is the worst movie ever made is laziness. Seagal has a firm, no effort policy that he will not compromise, even if it completely ruins the movie. During the final fight, Seagal said, "Damn, that's a lot of stairs." So now we have a body double walking right towards the camera for a full 4 seconds. Then later, in the same fight, Seagal's sword clearly breaks here and is then fine the next shot. This is
because he's just that darn good.
It's supposed to be his work.
He used his ki, or sorry, as he would pronounce it, he used his chi to repair the sword
ID,
mid-battle.
but they didn't even bother to put his character's name, William Lansing, on the ID. Then, instead of actually showing up for the episode,
Okay, that I will assume maybe it was like an undercover, situation. I don't why am I trying to make sense of Steven Seagal movies?
they have his body double walk through some trees, and then they give us the creepiest picture of all time. If you don't agree that Out of Reach is the worst movie ever made, then
I'm gonna enjoy killing you slowly.
Alright. Thank you, Space Ice. I get such a kick. He's got like over 20 of these with Steven Seagal. And here's one of my favorite Mad
And
TV
now,
Steven
back
Seagal
to
bits.
Entertainment Tonight's look at Steven Seagal's Crouching Cops Hidden Badges.
I'm Mary Hart. Welcome back to Entertainment Tonight.
Well, hold on a second. Hey, what the heck you doing? I thought we were chatting just now. Hi, I'm Steven Seagal. I may hate people that pretend to chat with me, but what I don't hate is making good movies. So I guess I'll talk about the movie I'm making right now. It's called Crouching Cops, Hidden Badges. It's way better than that other movie that crouches and hides. Oh, what's that, Mary? You want to take a look at a behind-the-scenes clip that was shot earlier today? You got it. Okay, hey. All right, in this shot, I'm gonna use my magic to run up that wall and then jump up over the roof.
Okay, great. Hey, can we get those wires in here, please?
Whoa, hey. Who said anything about wires? I saw that Chinese movie like 4 times. I didn't see any wires.
Yeah, that's because they were digitally removed.
Oh, really? Well, maybe I should digitally remove your head from your body. Because people are paying good American money to see me fly.
That's very good.
Oh, what's that? Oh, you think I should? I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. What? Yeah, he makes a good point. Making yourself fly is the hardest kind of acting there is, because everybody on the set's got to believe in you. But there's always that one scumbag that doesn't believe. You, come here. Get over here. Are you that scumbag that doesn't believe?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, listen. Take this message to him in case you see him. Okay, so this is the part of the movie where I magically jump from this wall and fly over to that wall over there. It's really tough, so everybody make sure that they believe really hard.
Okay, Steven, now we're gonna go ahead and do this your way without the wires.
Thanks, I only had to ask you like 1 billion times.
Medic, and action! Take 4.
Shut up!
And action! Okay, Steven, this is lucky take 29.
Okay, no, I don't want to. Oh, come on, Zhang, teach me to fly.
Help! I don't know.
Come on, teach me to fly, or I'll send you back to Shanghai in a box marked dead guy.
I don't know, man. I'm from LA.
I got all day, guys. I know one of you's gonna crack. You should have seen the look on your face, man. You look like a... Oh.
Look, Steven, you've already killed half the crew, all right? The only people I got left is a camera assistant and an animal wrangler. Why don't you just come on down and we'll call it a day?
You know what? I'll tell you why. Because I'm not a quitter. That's why. What's that? Oh, I know what that is. That's the taste of victory. The taste that you taste right before you can fly. So put some freaking film in the camera and start shooting, because I can feel the magic.
Take 80 and action!
Before we start today's video, okay, I want to give a big shout out to today's sponsor. And you know who that sponsor is? Okay, you're not going to believe this. That's Rachel!
Yeah. All right, so last 3 videos.
It's here in
we
your
got about
inbox
30
for the
minutes
next
left total.
Seagal. I don't know how he's been. This guy, okay? Steven Seagal. I don't know how he's been, the places he's been and accomplished what he's accomplished.
And I know John Tron had his controversy or whatever, the stupid things he said about certain racial issues, and I don't have to agree with everybody on everything. Dude's still pretty funny. I look forward to his shows. But yeah, this one was good.
I always just knew him as a 90s action movie star with the likes of Jean-Claude Van Damme and Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, beating people up, being awesome.
What proves?
Putting asses in seats at the movie theater, generally not being batshit crazy afterwards.
You still fine?
Yes, I do.
You still dangerous?
But Steven Seagal could not manage that last bit, unfortunately.
Большим останавливающим действием. What caliber is this?
So here you have it. The many sides of this fragmented man. May we try to piece him back together like Humpty Dumpty. He is kind of an egg guy, if I'm being honest. So Steven Seagal is trained in an art called Aikido, or so he says. It's basically an art where you just flip a guy. You just throw a guy. That's what it is. Dude, I'd be careful if I were you. That's a dangerous man. But I'd be remiss if I didn't point out the central aspect of Aikido, in which that it is a fakey fake, not real bullshit martial art. Ironically, if you look at it, most of the real skill here comes from the people pretending they're falling. So, that's probably a good sign of things to come. So you thought Steven Seagal was an action star, huh?
Get him, man!
Well, what about Steven Seagal, the musician?
Well, that you gonna have to see. I got $700, baby. Ain't you gonna make
It's quite easy to do soul singing, you know what I'm saying?
Before I was born, you got a boy child's coming.
What the fuck? It's like started soulful but ended with a threat. It was like, you better watch your back. Literally, actually, seriously, watch your back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, he's here. Everybody knows I'm here.
Okay, that one was straight up gibberish. I believe I heard. That's genuinely what I heard.
I'm Russian. My family are from Vladivostok and Belarus, and you know.
I'm a Russian Mongol, and I'm Russian. My father was a Russian Mongol, so these people are Russian Mongols.
That's right, it's real. That's Vladimir Putin shaking hands with Steven Seagal. How does it even happen? Was Vladimir Putin just like a fan of Under Siege or something?
Quite some time ago. С самого начала говорили о том, что если это произойдет.
I like to think Vladimir Putin just has no idea who Steven Seagal is. He's just like, okay, yeah. Who is this again? Foreign minister to Switzerland? Okay.
Это произойдет, то это будет. Я вас, во-первых, хочу с этим поздравить.
First, I'd like to congratulate you on this occasion.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna back that up just a little bit and raise it up so y'all can read.
Okay.
Это произойдет, то это будет. Я вас, во-первых, хочу с этим поздравить.
First, I'd like to congratulate you on this occasion.
Mr. Putin wants you to know that he thought you were the foreign minister to Switzerland, and he was mistaken, but he's going to go ahead with it anyway. Congratulations, Mr. Seagal.
Yeah.
My Jesus, act like you're at least a little happy to see him, Vlad. I mean, I know you're not in reality. Nobody would be. But at least act happy. I mean, for Christ's sake.
So there, at the bottom, you have to sign it.
Whoa, what's with the fucking gnarly thumbnail? You're gonna go and meet the president of Russia and you come with the fucking Crypt Keeper fingers? Especially when it's gonna be like up close on television? What the fuck?
This is called Dragon Chasing the Ball. With its tongue.
Fuck. You know Vlad's like looking at like his gnarly thumbnail like, please, I'm gonna have to shake that hand. You see, I'm weak.
So happy.
Slight
to see you
overkill.
again. That's all.
It's really been a pleasure. By the way, just saying, huge fan of your annexation of Crimea. You are a great big fat man. Round, I thought was so strong, slim man. No, you're like a Russian potato. But believe it or not, old Vlad is actually not the only Eastern Bloc president that Steven Seagal has graced with his presence.
Wait.
As seen here when he visited the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, at his official residence in Minsk. Because this, you can't make it up, really. You can't make it up.
Welcome. Nice to see you.
So beautiful.
Поистине красиво.
Okay, you go to the White House, all right, you go to Downing Street, they're gonna give you a cup of coffee and a cake. Not so in Belarus, all right? You go to the Minsk Palace, all right, they're gonna shred you a couple carrots live. Look at this man, how does he look so out of place everywhere he is? Okay, look at that posture, all right? That posture asserts, I don't know where I am, I want my mommy, I'm lost. Steven, go easy with the fuck. Did you skip lunch? How hungry were you?
У нас природа не позволяет их сделать.
He looks absolutely lost. He's like, yes. Oh, it's time for the watermelons. Dimitri, good boy. Bring Steven the watermelon.
Boy joins the server.
Nice.
Check that thing out, all right? We don't got much of a GDP, but check that out. That's some soil we got in my backyard.
Nice.
Oh, I keep it? Oh, all right. Cool, I got, all right, yeah, that's your thing. Watermelons, carrots. It's a bit fucking weird, but.
I'm here with Belarus royalty and they're giving me fresh fruit.
But he's not only Russian, okay? He apparently had a brief stint as a cop or something on the New Mexico border. I don't know what made him qualified for such a position, but somebody apparently thought it a good idea to hire him, which is why we are now going to be treated to a video titled, and I quote, Steven Seagal trains Americans how to stop school shooters using guns and martial arts. Good luck stopping a school shooter using martial arts, I'm just saying. Stop, boy! Oh! That was a high caliber round!
America's war on gun crime is being fought on many fronts. But now the world's most powerful country has a new weapon. Yes, all-action hero, Steven Seagal.
What?
The Under Siege star took time out from the bright lights of Hollywood to train posse volunteers in Arizona.
Posse volunteers? What do you mean volunteers? I thought these were cops. Wait, better question, what the fuck is a posse volunteer? The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office volunteer posse consists of non-compensated positions made up of people from all walks of life who want to assist law enforcement as a way to give back to their community. Now, is school shootings really the proper domain for the volunteer contingent of society? Shouldn't the most absolutely highly trained veteran forces be taking on these kinds of tasks?
Ideally, but that's not how the police works. Didn't you watch Police Academy? What do you think I showed you all those movies for, John? For the jokes? Well, except for that one guy who does sound effects.
And shouldn't Steven Seagal always have literally nothing to do with it?
Yeah, you're not doctors and lawyers, you're cops right now.
You take that Hippocratic oath, you scrunch it up, put it in the trash. You're here to shoot the child, but only the child with the weapon.
When you yell at somebody, get down on the ground, they gotta do it. If they don't do it, you gotta make them comply. Quick. For every second that goes by, you could be losing children.
I like how Steven Seagal, you could see him just for a moment there calculating the optics of talking about mounds of dead kids. For every second that passes, we're gonna be losing children? That's good, right? It's good for the TV?
The most precious asset we have as a society and as human beings is our children.
Which is why I've come here to this playground to recapture my youth.
What you gotta do, full shooting, come in, guns blazing, take out everybody in the hallway just to be safe. The Ayatollah made me a deity, by the way.
But he's a dangerous youth, don't get me wrong. You boy of 12 with a shotgun, unhand your weapon. Don't make me do this. Son of a bitch. If they think they can keep extorting the children of this community with 10-cent price hikes on SpongeBob Pops, but they're dead wrong. It turns out, pretty cool guys, actually.
But not
active shooters. You bust out of the air vent system. You come in. You deflect all the bullets. Come on.
everyone agrees. It's the brainchild of controversial Arizona Police Chief Joe Arpaio, dubbed America's toughest sheriff.
I'm going to say it again. For those protesters, we are here to protect the children. That's the main mission. They can say whatever they want, but I'm not going to stop.
And with a 6'4", 7th down black belt as his sidekick, who would disagree with that?
How long has Steven Seagal been standing behind me? Why is Steven Seagal standing behind me?
But if that weren't enough, he had his own series called Steven Seagal Lawman. I've been working as an officer in Jefferson Parish for 2 decades under most people's radar, said Seagal in premiere episode The Way of the Gun. Okay.
Once a year, every officer has to qualify with firearms in order to use their pistol on duty. And next week is Alex's test. See how it goes right where I want it? Yes, sir. Right there.
Now, most people don't know this, but when the bullets are in the gun, okay, watch closely. Did you see that? Most people don't know that.
If I don't pass weapons qualification.
I'm afraid Mr. Skull's gonna hurt me. Really. He's a scary man. He's an intimidating man. He's also, if I could use a turn of phrase, off his fucking rocker.
I'm trying to pass down some of the secrets that have made me a master shooter. I don't want to just help Alex pass this test, but I want him to be a better marksman for life.
That's kind of the idea, isn't it?
Most people don't know that, Chief. I use intimidation to tell the bullets where I want them to go. Even if I'm not aiming in that direction, I always hit my targets. Even the hard targets.
Both in the same hole, buddy.
Good luck, chap. Not through the bullet hole. It's a failed test. Nice try.
Oh! Guess who's buying beer tonight, boy?
Damn. I guess it's me. I guess I'm buying beer. Damn. That's Steven Seagal's whole racket, isn't it? He just tells someone to do something impossible. They can't do it. And then he goes, hey, oh, look who's paying my mortgage this month. Ha ha!
Cheese for all right there.
Cheese for all right there. Cheese for all right there.
He knows what he's doing. And he knows how to put lead on target.
Lead on target. Oh, fuck's sake, dude.
You know, being a lifelong practitioner of the martial arts, I try to teach everyone not to fight the recoil of the weapon, but more to become one with the weapon and let it be an extension of their body.
Which is exactly why, in case you were wondering, my hands look like this, okay? When they said firearm, I didn't know they meant it literally. Yeah, no, but I do miss eating food normally.
After what I seen today, he could take a gnat off a fly's ass.
You got the Asian kind of Zen lesson. You're not doing this anymore, you're doing this.
Okay, we were seeing a lot of this kind of movement, right? Now, we're seeing a bit more...
From the time you started till the time we finished, I felt like he learned something.
Good. See, I believe that was the point, I think. So, good. All right, okay, so we've heard about Steven Seagal, all of those things. But what about Steven Seagal, the man? You know, the person, the human being behind it all. We always ask, what is Steven today? But we never ask, how is Steven today? Right? So let's watch an interview with the man himself. It's an interview he did with The Voice. Should get a little accurate representation of who he is, right?
Welcome to Scottsdale, Arizona. Welcome to The Voice Versus. Hello, everybody. I'm Michael Chiavello.
I'm glad you said your own name, mate, because I wasn't going to be able to pronounce it.
So sit back and strap yourselves in for the longest interview ever conducted with Steven Seagal.
Before he got distracted and left, okay? We had him in that chair for like 26 minutes straight.
Steven Seagal, thanks for joining me on The Voice Versus. It's an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you. Yeah.
How did it come to be Aikido that was your chosen art?
Well, actually, I started studying karate at a very young age.
Don't hurt yourself, dude, all right? We don't want smoke coming out of those ears. This is your longest interview ever. We're only about 15 seconds in.
Sort of lied about my age and got a job washing dishes at a restaurant. I think it was called the Wagon Wheel or something like that. And there was a cook there, because back then in America you didn't really have dojos around.
I was working at this restaurant, don't remember the name of it. There was a cook there, but back then you didn't really have dojos. Right. Understood, Steven. Understood.
They were all sort of underground or quietly teaching.
Okay, back then it wasn't sanctioned, okay? It wasn't exactly legal. Bit taboo. You go on the street, you say the words kung fu, all of a sudden you're in the back of a SWAT van.
One of the cooks there was a guy called Sakamoto Sensei, and he was a Shotokan guy and an Okinawan Shorin guy.
In short, this guy was a guy.
He saw that when I was washing the dishes and moving around that I moved very fast.
Hey, that guy back there, is he a karate master? No, he's just a dishwasher. No. How exactly do you wash a dish in a fashion that will impress a martial arts master?
We demonstrated karate at this place that they had, which was a theme park, like a Japanese theme park.
You know, it was like a regular theme park. You know,
That was lucky. That was
roller
lucky
coasters,
timing.
except it was Japanese.
You did an Aikido demonstration and Warner Brothers was blown away and boom, Steven Seagal became a movie star. Is that true? And if not, how did it happen?
I hate to admit it, that is true.
Okay. You met Bruce Lee.
True,
Tell me about
James.
your
That's how you
experiences
wash
with Bruce
dish.
and what was he like and how did you get on with him?
I thought Bruce was a really great guy, really cool guy. And I thought James Coburn was a great guy too, and I'm really sorry they're all gone. And when Brandon was killed like that, they called me a few minutes after it happened. It was in Carolina somewhere. They called me in the middle of the night and they said,
You think it'd be more like, yeah, but Steven, but it was.
we think that he's dead, but the guy shot a blank gun at him. How could he be dead?
Steven, we need to talk to you, dude, okay? We shot like a blank gun at Brandon Lee, and now he's like bleeding from the stomach and dying, dude. Why is he dying? What do we do? No, we didn't call an ambulance. We're calling you, dude.
I said, you will find a projectile in him. You'll find a bullet in him. And they said, that can't be. You're crazy.
Steven, what are you gonna tell me? Pigs are flying next, okay? All we did was shoot a gun at him. We're gonna find a bullet. Why did they even call you instead of the paramedics?
And I said, you will find a bullet in him. And they called me in the morning. They said, you're amazing. And I said, why? And they said,
Brandon's dead. It was a bullet. You rock, dude.
I can go through the whole story on what really happened, which most people don't know, but...
I could go on all day telling about bullets.
A lot of people don't know this, but I've also been an open heart surgeon for the last 37 years. 37?
And my friend, you don't want to hear that, but do you?
Oh yeah, we still got to talk about that Kevin Smith week. Whether we're going to do it a night, a week, whatever, but yeah, no, we still need to talk about that, y'all.
Because I'll keep going.
Who's the most legitimate Hollywood tough guy in your opinion?
When you say tough guy, do you mean martial artist or just tough guy?
You can tell just like right out the gate, he's like, it's Steven Seagal, but like I thought you knew that, so like are you asking for me to confirm it's Steven Seagal, or are you really curious? Because it's pretty obvious.
I mean, Steven, for real, if he was on the street and there was a situation, you wanted this Hollywood guy by your side because he could defend himself.
Fucking hell, look at this guy's shit-eating grin.
Michael Jai White.
Can I laugh in your face?
Can I laugh in your face? Really?
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 Yes.
thoughts on Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Can I laugh in your face?
Oh my God, Steven Seagal is such a dickhead.
Chuck Norris?
And then even crazier, because over the years, Steven's gotten pretty much as big as Will Sasso was when he first started parodying him back in the 90s.
I mean, Chuck is in his mid-70s. He's probably 76 years old.
I don't think anyone with a sprayed-on hairline has the authority to be going around calling anyone else geriatric. Oh, that Chuck Norris, all right? Last I seen him, he was using a walker.
So, I mean, I don't really want to get into, on film anyway, you know, who's a tough guy. Do I think Michael is a tough guy? No. Do I think he's a martial artist? No. Do I think Jean-Claude's a tough guy or martial artist? No.
Only one guy left who could be the tough guy.
And apparently there's a story where Steven Seagal, and Jean-Claude Van Damme, apparently, I think they ended up at Sylvester Stallone's party. If I remember correctly how the story went. So Sylvester Stallone has a party, invites Jean-Claude and Steven over or whatever. And which by this time, Steven had already made comments about how, you know, he feels like he could take Jean-Claude or whatever. And, but they ended up, John and Steven end up in an argument at the party where Jean-Claude's just like, well, let's settle this right now. Let's go. And the story has it that after that, Steven just disappeared. he basically snuck out the back door on the situation.
This guy's response on the other end, it was just...
So, Steven, can I laugh in your face?
Are you always armed?
Yes.
Right now, if I was to look around this room, would I find an arm of some sort that you've brought with you?
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on the show today, and it's been an absolute pleasure.
Hey, you know I keep that thing on me, son. You know, you gotta stay strapped. You gotta make sure you got everything. Stay protected. Whatever this thing is, I'll beat you with it. Shit. All right. Here we go. 2 more videos left. They're both really short. I want to say about 10 minutes total. And so next is going to be a short film about Steven Seagal, known as Judge and Jury. I mean, you could. There you go.
You know, all the time I spent in the CIA, they really owe me. They owe me.
What kind of pizza crust do you want?
This one time I was a Navy SEAL, trying to be a chef on a ship that went under siege.
You need a therapist.
I'm fun. I'm the funnest there is.
You got like 5 minutes to decide what you want to eat.
I think I want to meditate. Maybe you should go inside.
Hey, what do we got here?
Like to get a piece of that.
This guy is already doing way more acting than Steven Seagal has ever put effort in.
Yeah, come on. Want to play?
Yeah, what do you want?
Oh, all right. All right. Let's do this.
Yeah.
They put the guns away.
phone call, traitor.
Hey, there's a problem. Do you want me to take him out? Okay. Okay, BRB.
If you just really look, if you just look at the bodies, it's like their souls were just punched clear on out of them before they were shot in the face. I've never seen anything like this before. Except for that one time in Cambodia. I was undercover overseas for the CIA. Yeah, I've seen this before. I'll never forget it.
Detective.
Detective, we got the security footage back. You're not gonna believe it.
Wow. Where do you
Some
think
high quality
the camera
cameras.
was placed? I don't. It's hard. They actually managed to get the bullet leaving the gun twice.
The muzzle flash.
Muzzle flash. I recognize those beads. Cambodian, I believe.
I thought you might.
I know who this is, and we're gonna need a lot of backup to arrest him.
This parody is actually pretty on point. This is actually my first time watching this. Like, the soundtrack's actually kind of lit.
Got a letter, Steven.
The runtime on this movie is running a little short. So to give me some padding and to set up for a sequel, I'll need your help for reasons that I can only discuss in person. I'll see you on the other side.
Okay, I do have to call out one detail. His running. Like, Steven Seagal, like, I don't think I've really seen Steven Seagal do the ball fist run. Like, he always does the weird floppy wrist run. And, here we are. last video of the night. And it's another space ice of the video we just saw.
Judge and Jury is the hit blockbuster movie where he finally showed the world what it always suspected. He's not just a scientist, bodybuilder, philosopher who's the best at everything,
You need a therapist.
but he's also the greatest action star mankind has ever known. We get the deepest and most detailed backstory of his career.
All the time I spent in the CIA. This one time I was a Navy SEAL.
Before blowing everyone away with his maturity by being with a woman older than all the other women in his movies combined. She's annoying as hell though,
You got like 5 minutes to decide what you want to eat.
and choosing between Taco Bell and Pizza Hut isn't some shit you can just rush. While he's
I mean, to be fair, not really. You gotta take your time with that one. Which one's gonna ruin your guts harder? That's a serious decision. You need time to decide. Is it worth the tacos or the cheesy crust?
dealing with that crisis, she gets herself caught up with these guys.
Like to get a piece of that.
Who must not know how she is. When he's done eating, you guys are gonna be so fucked. Oh shit, here it comes. And a quick 7 minutes later, he shows up and we get the greatest fight scene of his entire career, where he shows all the doubters he still got it.
My hero!
Shut up! Nobody hurries the great one.
You got like 5 minutes to decide what you want to eat.
And who the fuck says BRB?
Okay, BRB.
Even though the police are in agreement that this was the most badass thing they've ever seen,
It's like their souls were just punched clear on out of them before they were shot in the face.
the many accusers that came forward from his wild night at Mardi Gras
I recognize those beads.
proved to be his downfall. He then gives Marvel a lesson in how not to be shitty, and we get the most badass post-credit scene of a jujitsu master beating the living shit out of 2 of his severely epileptic students. While it's incredibly offensive, it's also completely fucking awesome. He then does this old trick. Classic. And after breaking out of what's clearly a maximum security federal prison, he gallops majestically into the night like an Australian freshwater crocodile.
All right. Oh man. All right, y'all. That's it for the night. That is Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal night, part 1, because there's actually quite a few videos in here like I didn't get a chance to get to. So I'm gonna save that for next week, sometime next week, maybe Tuesday, maybe, or actually maybe I'll just do it this Sunday. You know, make it a Steven Seagal Sunday. We'll get back to Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad eventually. Eventually, I'm not in a rush, but yeah. I want to say thank you to everybody who came out. Chief Doomsday, Wolf Robinson, appreciate y'all hopping in the comments. You know, always a good time with y'all. You know, shout out to the rest of the Legion of Doom. Shout out to the lurkers, you know. Shout out to everybody who comes in after the fact and checks this out. Appreciate y'all. Feel free to hit that follow button. I guess we have to say that in the internet age. You know, you think people will just do anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, call it a night. And hey, first time in a while I've been able to do this well before 11 o'clock hits. So, you know, yeah. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night, and I will vaporwave y'all laters. Oh wait, there it is. And be easy, everybody. See y'all in the next one. You know what? For anybody here still jamming, I'm gonna go ahead and play one more before I close this out.